there, to change their, narrative, their policies, or the way they are operating. So over to Simon. Simon is the Chief Knowledge Officer at Ipsos. He actually, based out of London, but he works for the Paris office. He was groomed, learned, brought up in Oxford, but graduated from Cambridge.
Very interesting. Best of both the words.
Yeah, and and I have been known to him for more than a decade now. So we have been almost every year. We keep meeting somewhere in the world. So I think
than yesterday, because we had many hundreds of people and it was all with microphones and stages. So and some observations that we've got having worked on the study as part of our studies. It's a global, international study. I think it's one of the biggest of its kind, I think, because it's 50 countries, and that really gives us some extra power. We'll have to talk about that in today's discussions. It started 10 years ago, and at that time, and where are things staying the same, continuity, and where is there change, and why might that be? And then also, thinking about Pakistan and the work we've been doing this week, where are the similarities and differences? So, what we've done this week is more focused on country level similarities and differences, but there's opportunities to explore. Perhaps you might want to do something, or might do some things by age group or education, that kind of thing. So what we've done in the report is so as we perhaps go through them, we can perhaps pick up on those in our conversation. So what did we find looking at the results where people in Pakistan were broadly similar in their attitudes to people around the world? I will pay a premium if people are giving me what I need. That's something which is common around the world, came through very clearly here. The third one is what we call the escape to individualism. And that one is when people are saying, it's up to me to make the choices in my lives. And it's kind of I don't want anyone to tell me what to do kind of thing. People feel that everywhere. We're finding that as quite a consistent picture. Maybe a little bit. It's a question on children. Most people ought to have children. So remember, we're sort of asking people these questions where you can agree or you can disagree. High numbers in Pakistan are saying that. Now, that was where we had discussion about that, because it wasn't about the number of children that you should have. That wasn't open to that. So I think both on the climate worry, technology, I think two really key ones.
Is it because we may not have fathomed the implications of the AI?
That's a very interesting part.
Yes, longevity is one we had a long discussion about this. There's a question of whether I'm going to live to be 100, right? And the scores range from like 16% in one country to 70% in another. So this might be one where you think it'd be really similar. Now you score low on I'm going to live to be 100. I think you're in the 20s now. 24. 24. Well done. And one of the big we had a number of questions there. Is it genuine assessment of our diets and our health and some of the health inequalities that we have here? Is it a reflection of the health service? Some of my expectations? Is it a lack of confidence? There were some other countries, including India, were much more positive on that one. And another country, Japan, where people do live to be 100 quite often, they were the least likely to say that they would. So the reason we paused on that one is it not heading for a breakdown category, it's 2 to 1 against, and some other countries were more pessimistic. And then on the shorter term, and question which is about what do you think about the next 12 months for your country, we had Pakistan, I think, had 58% saying they were optimistic for the next 12 months. The global average was 14%. You weren't top, but you were above the average. So we did find a sense of optimism more prevalent here than elsewhere. And in some of the countries, including our home country of France, the results are very depressing.
I think this must have increased after the army chief was given time, more challenges.
Another 10 years.
So percentage must be now 70%, at least I am.
On your comment about 100 plus years expectancy, what about the quality of life? Was it measured, or I missed it or something, or did you?
Not in detail in this study. This was more of a kind of it's more about what you see around you in terms of government, institutions, brands, customer service, those kinds of things. So it wasn't so much about
countries like on this in emerging markets, whereby Nigeria and these countries are coming together, whereby the material, I would say, the growth in material development is considered more aspirational rather than looking at the wellness and these things. But I think at this point in time, whereby the emerging markets, almost all, they are infrastructure, economic growth more than the personal well-being.
So it is on, basically it is on both the national level as well as individual level.
Yeah, it is on the level.
Developing countries and separate
Well,
developers.
I would say we deliberately designed it so you can do both of those things. And I think one of the things that if you want to do, just split it into the two, let's say, you can do that. If you wanted just to look at, say, Pakistan against Middle East, North African countries, you can do that. So we deliberately, I think that's part of the purpose actually, is to give that flexibility. One of the things that we find in market research is we always try to generalise because that's what we like to do, but you have to be a bit careful about generalising, and even two blocks emerging or developed, we want as well. So I think what we hope is that there's a resource that makes people one can flex it, and we already found different comparisons are more interesting and useful for different questions, depending on whether we're looking perhaps at more of a cultural question or more of an economy question.
Some surveys have found that Pakistanis are more happy or more satisfied than other nationalities. Did you find any evidence?
The optimism.
Optimism.
Yes.
Is that part of that?
Yeah.
You see, Pakistan is, demographically speaking, Pakistan is more in common with India. Demographic.
Yes.
Or the age, because I feel like the difference of opinion would actually be according to the country's estimate of the demographics, age, gender.
Very, very important, valid question. We have ensured the data what we collect is weighted to reflect the demographics of that particular country. So that when the opinion what we see, they should.
And the religious interests also. I mean, religion. Whatever religion, any religion one follows, they have the different perspectives also. By the way,
Professor Javed had a question.
We understand about China, because of maybe they went to that one-child policy, the whole.
No, you see their per capita income, their standard of living has gone so high now. They don't go back to the old days. And in our case,
when you say
But it was only about work and community.
It used to be that we would have $300 GDP per capita. Right? So that's maybe I don't want to go back there.
I mean, I'm assuming, but aap bataएं.
No, I don't know either. So, but
Yeah.
I think that if you look at the numbers, I think the quality of life
China.
of people in Pakistan, I think belonging to any.
They different rural population, Karachi population. So the data came that everybody, अगर आप उनसे पूछें despair, the only two things we asked about the despair level. I was just talking about the study. I'm not.
I understand, but the first point is the similarity concept. The elitists, this country is ruled by elites. I hear this all the time, and I'm running 5 clinics free of charge in the outskirts of Karachi. If you go to these clinics, then you see people don't have meals for 2 days, twice a day. People are dying. People are poor, because we live in Karachi and we live in defense, and we believe that that everything is hunky dory. It's not hunky dory.
We will have a separate discussion on it.
There's no
Increase in their downloads and that obviously had their business. So that was although the traditional mainstream media didn't like it, But yes, they
So basically,
did a great job there. Yes.
yeah, so I have worked in Daraz, by the way, just adding to this conversation. So I feel like the value that they were getting from was not people who were coming on the platform, but because they had a habit of coming to the platform in the long run, the habit of conversion was really high. Yeah, also just adding one thing that Mayu also added was that in person they're doing, and they started curtailing a lot of businesses that they have right now.
Is an opportunity that I see not for just large enterprises but every service provider in the country.
Well, that kind of, yes. Well, that sort of